Hey y'all, so I'm back, and I know I said I was going to do a video yesterday, and I didn't. I apologize. It was just, I think my depression, my anxiety kind of got the best of me yesterday, and I really had a hard time getting out of bed. So there it is. There's the truth. Yeah, it was a cluster yesterday, and this weather doesn't help because it's cold and rainy and just icky, and so there you go. But I wanted you to be here for when I pink my hair again. Last time, if you watched the video, I used this dryer and brush combination from the Knot Doctor that just did not work at all. I mean, it took forever and it took out so much hair. It was ridiculous. So today I washed it. I'm going to go ahead and blow dry it and straighten it. And then I will separate it to do the pink, and I will show you all of that. By the way, in case you noticed, I did do my Chiefs colors again, my orange and yellow, but I did it a little differently this time. I did yellow, light orange, and dark orange. Again, I can put that on here at some point if someone would like. It's fun to do it for your team. It's just a little bit extra. So now, since my hair is wet from my shower, and you can see just how wavy and thick it is even after I cut 5 inches off. So I always use this BioSilk Silk Therapy. Oh my goodness, I know I don't advertise for this company, but I have used this for years, and it is about the only thing that gets my hair brushed after it's wet. Put a little bit of this on, like a dime size amount, spread it through your hair. It's so easy to brush, guys. I'm not even playing. So definitely something if you got thick wavy hair like I do. It's definitely, like, I can't even get my fingers through it right now because it's just a cluster F. So anyway, I'm going to throw this on there and brush it out, and it is going to take me a while, so I'm going to pause this so I can do that, and then I will come back after I have dried it and we'll get started. So give me a few minutes and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're kind of doing this in stages today, okay? It's mostly dry, still needs to dry a little bit, but this is what happens when I dry my hair without straightening it. It's just, because I have so much hair. So, since I'm just highlighting my hair and not like completely coloring it, I'm going to do this how I always do it, which is separate the top hair. All right, let's get that up here and find a clip. I think this one will work, hopefully. If not, I have some smaller clips I can put in here. So we got that up mostly. Let's put some other clips in here just to be sure. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll take the bottom chunk. Oh, not quite dry, so I'll have to spend some more time drying it. But what I'm going to do is, and I'll show you this in a minute once I get it dry. Let me finish drying it. But what I'll do is kind of go over where it's already been pinked, you know, and take chunks and try to do it that way. Today, I'm going to try this Arctic Fox. Really good color, and it's semi-permanent. So you're supposed to put it on dry hair and then wash it out with cold water, not like the whole shampoo and conditioner, all that. And luckily, I have my that was loud. My trusty little bag here. I got my bowl. I got my brushes, but the best part of this is I actually, oops, excuse me, drop something. I actually have my very own cape. Ta! So I can put this on and stop worrying about whether I'm going to screw up towels or where that particular towel is that I've screwed up in the past. So that's really nice. I don't know if I'm going to use the brushes or not. I have a couple of different brushes to choose from. But I kind of like just, you know, getting my hands dirty. And it comes with a really good pair of gloves, too. The only thing is that partway through it, you're supposed to put like a hair thing over it and then use a blow dryer with heat. So I'm going to kind of go over these instructions again, finish drying this back part because apparently I didn't do very well. And then I will come back on and show you guys the highlighting. And then I'll go back off and sit for the amount of time it tells me to sit. And we will see what happens. Let's keep our fingers crossed. I was really worried about the cutting thing and it turned out okay. But really, how many shots do you have at doing your own hair and having it turn out okay? That is my question. Look how much hair I still have after cutting over 5 inches off. That's unbelievable. Anyway, okay, so I'll be back. Give me a few minutes. Okay, guys, so we're going to start out. I thought I'd have you here for a little bit of it. Oof. I don't know, I'm still very nervous. I hope it's gonna turn out well. The last pink I got was so light and it just did not turn out well at all. So let's keep our fingers crossed that this one's better since I'm not doing my whole head. And I went ahead and put the petroleum jelly on my forehead and my ears just to make sure that I don't, accidentally color my forehead and my ears. So I don't know about this. It smells good, but I'm already nervous because, it doesn't seem to be very bright. So that's making me a wee bit nervous about what the final product is going to be. I don't know, maybe when I add heat to it, it'll be better. I don't know, I decided not to use the bowl and the brushes and all that. It just seems to work better if I use my actual hands. But it smells really good actually, but I'm still a wee bit nervous because it does not look very bright. I don't know. Obviously I won't keep filming the whole time I'm doing this, because then you guys would just be staring at me, while I'm doing this part, which is not very thrilling. So I am going to get off for now, finish the lower part, then hope I have enough for the upper part, and I will get back to y'all, and we will see. All right, I'll be back. Okay, here's a good question for y'all. So I have put the streaks in. Oops, I gotta take the clips out from underneath. I forgot to put those in there. Because I did the bottom half and then the top half. I didn't go too crazy, just about 6 of them on the top and about 5 of them on the bottom. I actually still have extra left, and I did put the petroleum on, so hopefully it'll keep my skin from staining. But here's a question. So the instructions always say things like, you want to keep it on for 30 or 45 minutes. Okay, so I have a lot of hair. It takes me a long time to get to this point. So the question is, do you keep it on for 30 minutes from when you start or 30 minutes from when you stop? Because that's a big difference. It takes me 20 something minutes to do all this or more. So that's my main question. If anybody's got the answer to that, I would love the answer to that, because I generally go 30 minutes from when I stop. So, about a quarter till, and in about 15 minutes, I'll put it up in one of these hair bonnet things I got, see if it works, and put it, use the blow dryer, because it says to wrap your hair. Ooh, this is silky. I don't know if this is going to work. You're supposed to put your hair in one of these things. I don't know how I'm going to get all this up in there, but we'll see. And then you're supposed to blow dry for 15 minutes. So I'm going to let it sit for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to, sorry, I made a mess of this thing, so I'm trying to clean it up. Anyway, I'll let it sit for 15 minutes, then I'll come back and put it under heat for 15 minutes. And I did leave about a quarter of the bottle, which is shocking because I have so much hair that normally I use it all. But again, I did go kind of sparingly. So I didn't go wild with it because I didn't know how it was going to work. Anyway, I'm going to set it for 15 minutes and I will come back and let you know. Okay, guys, believe it or not, I actually got all of my hair up in this thing. I don't know what you call it. What do they call it? A hair bonnet. So I got it all up there. Now I'm going to apply heat for 15 minutes and we will see what happens. I will come back. Okay guys, so I'm back. I left it in for about 35 minutes. Wow, does it look pretty pink while it's wet? I don't know how it's going to look when it dries. I'm getting ready to blow dry it and I will get back to you and we will see. Wow, that's a lot more pink than I expected. Anyway, we'll see how it looks. Let me get back to you. Hang on. Okay, so I'm almost done. I think the I think the pink, when I put the cap thing on, or whatever it was called, I think it bled quite a bit into the rest of my hair, because this was supposed to be streaked and now it's like mostly pink, but all these weirdly different colors of pink. I don't think I hate it right now, but I'm still trying to, get it into some style so that I can see if I like it or not. I think I like it, and it's something different that I needed, but I figured I would get on here and chat with y'all while I finished up. And if my best friend in the world sees this, he lives in California, hi baby, he's going to be very proud of me, because this is not something that I talk about. Before I get to that though, let me tell you guys, so this is the difference between using a straightener on my hair and just blow drying. Big difference. So But in the very beginning of my recording today, I mentioned that I was supposed to do the recording yesterday and just couldn't because of my depression. And then I just kind of skipped over it and laughed it off like I always do. Ooh, I'm stuck. However, and as much as I hate to do this, I think today I'm actually going to discuss this a little bit. So I used to be a cop. I'm sure I've mentioned that before. And loved it. Loved my job. Was great at my job. However, 7 years in, I broke my back on duty. Saving a kid from a car accident. I say kid, he was a teenager. Big teenager. I'm 100 pounds and he was not. And anyway, the accident, helping that kid, making sure he survived, snapped my spine, so I had to have an L5-S1 fusion. I've got a 13-inch scar on my back where they put 13 inches of titanium in where my spine is supposed to be so that I can move. And that was in 2007, so it was a long time ago. Unfortunately, there's not a lot that you can do for someone who's got an injury like that and all that titanium. I'm on medication that I take every day. It's not like I can do stretches or physical therapy because it's titanium, you know. There's a bunch of screws and nuts holding it in place. My pain level daily, on a good day, it's around a 6. On a normal day, it's a 9 or 10 out of 10. My pain level is extraordinary every day, which has caused me to have severe depression and anxiety. A couple of the different shrinks called it PTSD. I don't know. I know that I have, because of my pain level, I have a lot of depression. And anyone who has chronic pain probably understands that, because apparently it's pretty common to be depressed when you have chronic pain, which I just love. They loop us all in a big pile and say, oh, it's pretty common. We can't really do anything for you here. We'll give you drugs, but that's about it. You know, good luck. So, yeah. My good days would send most people to the hospital because the pain is so bad. But, you know, I've gotten used to it. I mean, what are you going to do? You can sit in bed and cry about it all day, or you can get up and go with your life, you know. And I have 2 kids. I have an adult child, and I have a child that's getting ready to turn 11. So I don't really think I have a choice, you know. He's 10 years old right now. He needs his mother. There's a lot of things he can't do. So on days like yesterday, where I am in so much pain and I'm depressed, it's really hard to get out of bed. It's hard to feed myself, much less another person, you know. And I try to remain active. I try to get out and do things and do things with my son because I want him to have a good childhood. I don't want him to look back on his childhood and just remember his mom, you know, being in pain all the time. So I do try. But there are some days when it just gets to be too much, you know. And yesterday was one of those days. And the reason this is odd for me is because I don't talk about things like this. It took me a lot of years to even be able to admit that I had depression and maybe PTSD from what happened. And it's not something that I openly and freely talk about. Just the way I was brought up, you know, I always had to be the strong one. I don't cry in front of people. I always thought it was a sign of weakness. It took me, again, a very long time to realize that it's not weak to cry, because sometimes you just have to let it out. Sometimes there's no place else for those emotions to go, and you just have to do it. But I mean, like, my oldest boy's 27. I think he can count in one hand the number of times he's seen me cry. And my youngest, I don't even think he would fill up a full hand. And that's something that lately I've come to realize is probably doing them more harm than good, you know? Because, you know, I want my boys to be strong, but I don't want them to not feel the emotions they need to feel, which is what I always do. I am not one to ask for help or to seem like I need help. I'm the one that people come to for help. Because honestly, as long as I'm dealing with their problems, I don't have to deal with my problems. You know what I mean? So I can ignore all this and I can pretend that I'm fine, and it's not healthy, you know? I did get out of bed yesterday and I did take care of my son and I got him all the meals he needed, but I mean, it's what, 20 till 8 tonight. I couldn't even get this video going until a couple of hours ago because, again, I was just in that state. And, now I can admit that's not a healthy state to be in. It's very unhealthy. There's nothing wrong with having depression. It doesn't mean you're broken. It doesn't mean that you can't handle reality or any of the other numerous things people say. It just means that sometimes life and everything you have to deal with can be a bit much. I mean, honestly, it can be a bit much. And sometimes you need to find a way to be able to release that. And luckily, I have my best friend. Now, he lives in California and I live in Kansas, so that kind of sucks, but we're working our way out there. I'm trying my hardest to get out there. But I mean, we've been best friends for more than half my life, and I have him. I can count on him. I know that if I call, he'll pick up the phone, even if we already talked twice that day. And so, I have someone in my corner that I can count on, that I can depend on, and that I can talk to. And that really does make a big difference. At least for me, it does. Like I said, it took me a long time to realize that it's not really healthy to hide my depression and hide my pain and pretend that everything's okay. Because there are some days when everything just isn't okay. And that's okay. That's okay. There are going to be days when it's overwhelming and it's just too much. And maybe you need to take 5, 10, 30 minutes to just relax and, just chill, I mean, I know, since I'm an only mother, I don't call it single motherhood because there is no father. And I know it's a lot sometimes, I get it. My son and I have been through a lot, more than any kid his age should have to go through. And some of it was, through my fault. Some of it was not my fault. We've been through a lot. And it's a lot to try to hold on to. But I just, I felt bad earlier about just skipping over the whole, didn't record yesterday because my depression, it just seemed like I was trying to blow it off and make it act like it wasn't a big deal. When honestly, it really is a big deal. And it's something that I need to deal with, And again, like I said, it doesn't make me broken. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with me. It just means, sometimes I might need a little extra time to get going and to get started with my day. I might need a little extra help sometimes, even though I don't necessarily ask for it. And I need people to, oh, that's a weird flippy flip, isn't it? I need people to be able to understand that, sometimes I'm not okay, and that's okay. Sometimes we're all not okay, and that is okay. It's okay not to be okay. Does that make sense? And it wasn't like I set out to accomplish anything by talking about this with y'all. Like I said, I felt kind of ashamed that I was just going to skip through it like it was nothing, because it's not nothing. And just because I have PTSD and depression doesn't mean that I'm not strong. It doesn't mean that I'm not resilient. It doesn't mean that I don't help other people and I'm not a good person. It doesn't mean any of that. It means I'm just like everybody else, but I can name my problem. I'm not dealing with it. That's something I gotta work on, but at least I can name it and I know it's there and I can say it out loud. And honestly, it feels a little scary, but also a little better, because maybe the more people that know, maybe the less I have to pretend everything's okay all the time. Maybe, I don't know, maybe every once in a while somebody will ask if I'm okay instead of me always being the one that's concerned. Or, you know, if you have friends out there that you think you're depressed, you don't understand what just going to them and saying, "Are you okay?" or "Do you want to talk?" You don't understand how much that can mean to somebody who's dealing with depression. Because it's very lonely and very isolating. Because it's, for me at least, I don't know how everybody else feels. I'm not everybody else. But for me, there's some shame associated with depression. Like, I'm too weak to handle it all. And that's what I fight with. You know I'm not weak. But sometimes it's hard to wrap my head around that. I mean, my career is over. I didn't even get very far in my career. It ended so quickly. But on the other hand, I saved that kid's life. So, obviously I was there for a reason. And maybe there's something else I'm supposed to do. Or maybe there's something important that he's supposed to do. I don't know. But I did my job and that kid's alive. Now I just kind of have to figure out the rest of it. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to completely go off track like that when this was supposed to be about my hair. Yeah, I'm still not quite sure. It's like all these different colors pink. Like I said, when I put it in the cap, I think it all like blended together, because if you saw me before, I had very specific lines of pink, and this is a lot of pink. So, I don't know. I'm going to play with it for a while. I'm going to hold on to it for a while. I'm going to see what I think. Maybe tomorrow. Sometimes you have to sleep on it. I don't know. It is kind of cool how there's all these different colors of pink, but I don't know. Again, I will sleep on it and maybe let you know tomorrow, depending on how I'm feeling. So, next time is next time. Y'all stay safe.